Hello and welcome. So, in this reflection, we're going to be looking at a passage from the Quran that's, well, it's not about defiance or some great sin. Instead, it describes a group of people who are good. They're safe, they're successful, they're called the people of the right hand. And their story, it's so gentle and quiet that for that very reason, it might be one of the most spiritually unsettling in the entire book. Let's begin.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
So the thing about the verses we're looking at today is that they don't really present a tragedy. I mean, they describe a state of total success and salvation, but hiding within that success is this profound and really quiet question, one that goes deeper than just our actions and gets right to the state of our hearts. What if a life can be good, gracious, obedient, and still somehow fall short of what it was truly meant for? This is the question these verses are asking us to really sit with. Not with fear, but with some deep, honest reflection. So who are these people of the right, the Ashab al-Yamin? Well, on the surface, their station is one of incredible honor. These are the believers who did what they were supposed to do. They fulfilled their obligations, they stayed away from major sins, they are safe, they're accepted, they're dignified. I mean, they've made it. The Quran even says, and the companions of the right, but will the companions of the right be? Almost like, can you even imagine how blessed they are? And their reward? Wow, it just perfectly reflects this state of safety and success. The Quran paints this picture of a paradise that is all about absolute comfort, total peace, and just effortless enjoyment. It all starts with the description of its gardens. The description kicks off with this beautiful image among lote trees with thorns removed. Now, the lote tree was known for its great shade and its fruit, but it was also known for having these really sharp thorns. And this is such a perfect illustration of their reward. It isn't just beauty. It's beauty that's been perfected. Beauty where any potential for pain or harm has just been plucked away. It's all the sweetness without any of the sting, all the pleasure without any cost. It's just perfect, painless ease. And the scene just keeps building with this image of complete, effortless abundance, water poured forth. What's so amazing here is the specific Arabic word that's used, maskoob. It means poured forth freely, constantly, not held back or rationed out. And the inner meaning here is just this powerful reminder that Allah's mercy isn't stingy. For those who are saved, it just flows and flows without any measure. And this whole theme of unbroken comfort just keeps going. The Quran talks about extended shade, which suggests constant protection, abundant fruit that's never ending and never off limits, these raised, noble couches that signify honor, and loving companions, all in perfect harmony. Every single detail is pointing to rest, safety, and effortless joy. But it's what's not mentioned that makes the spiritual masters pause. Because you see, for all this incredible detail about comfort and reward, the commentators noticed something was absent. The whole tone is different from the way the Quran describes the highest station, the muqarrabun, or those brought near to God. So this is the crucial distinction right here. The people of the right get comfort, but there's almost no mention of nearness. They're given rest, but you don't find that language of the soul's passionate longing for union. They've definitely achieved safety, but the verses don't talk about that higher level of intimacy with the divine. The Quran is being incredibly precise. This isn't a criticism of them. It's just a clarification that there are different spiritual ranks. This is the exact spiritual state that someone like Imam al-Ghazali warned about. He described it as a heart that loves God. Yes, of course, but it doesn't ache for him. It's that condition where our obedience just becomes routine, where our worship loses its hunger, its thirst, its desperate yearning. The love is there, but that fire of longing, it's just settled down into embers. Rumi gives us a metaphor that's even more poignant. He calls it being asleep in the garden. Just picture that for a second. You're surrounded by every single blessing you could ever imagine, every fruit, every comfort, but you're asleep to the presence of the very one who gave you all those gifts. Technically, nothing's wrong, but my goodness, something absolutely essential is missing. And this really gets to the absolute heart of the Sufi insight here. The tragedy isn't damnation, it isn't punishment. These souls are saved. The subtle tragedy is one of untapped potential. It's arriving in the gardens of paradise and only then, maybe, realizing just how much closer you could have been to God Himself. Now, this isn't just some abstract spiritual concept from 1,000 years ago. It has a really powerful parallel in our modern lives, a very real challenge that we could call the plateau. In modern psychology, they talk about the comfort plateau. It's that dangerous state where things are just good enough. The job is fine, the relationships are okay, life is manageable. It's just good enough to stop us from striving for more, from pushing for real growth, from seeking any greater depth. Spiritually speaking, it's the risk of becoming well-adjusted to a shallow horizon. So these verses ask us to turn that question inward on ourselves. Has our prayer, our fasting, our remembrance of God, has it all become so familiar, so routine, that it's lost its urgency? When we turn to God, are we really seeking Him, or are we just seeking that feeling of peace and safety that comes from checking a box? But look, this whole reflection, it's not meant to cause despair or make you feel bad. Not at all. It's about awakening that very longing we've been talking about. And the beautiful thing is, our tradition doesn't just leave us with a warning. It also gives us the keys to unlock that deeper yearning in our hearts. Here are just 4 gentle practices to try. First, a weekly check-in. Just honestly ask yourself, where am I settling? Where have I gotten a little too comfortable in my spiritual life? Second, intentionally seek a little bit of discomfort. Maybe it's waking up just a few minutes earlier for prayer, or giving something from what you really love. Third, interrupt your daily routine with spontaneous acts of remembrance. You know, a whispered prayer in the middle of a task, an extra prostration of gratitude. And finally, read the stories of the great lovers of God, not just to admire them, but to try and awaken in your own heart the kind of spiritual appetite, the longing that they felt. And we'll conclude with this beautiful supplication, this munajat, that really captures the heart of this entire reflection. O Lord, do not let us sleep among your gifts. Awaken us to the giver himself. If you grant us safety, grant us longing too, and do not let ease replace love. Ameen. This reflection was compiled with gratitude by Mir Ali Shah, a seeker sharing from living the wisdom of the Quran. We ask for forgiveness and acceptance for any AI-related mispronunciations or errors.